Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the TIPO award winners share their practices session. This is the time when our proud winners of our TIPO Network Awards will come to the forefront and share with us the practices that made them win these awards. For this session, I will call Mrs. Aisha Tupuye, Director of Markets from ITC, to manage the session.
Merci, Miguel. Here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. La salle est encore pleine après 2 jours d'intenses débats, ce qui montre encore votre enthousiasme et votre appropriation de l'action du CCI et de ses partenaires. Well done again. So, sans plus attarder, je voudrais appeler Monsieur Rajaor Narivelo de Madagascar, President of the International Trade Board of Madagascar, a winner in the category of LDCs, as we all witnessed yesterday night. Big applaud to him. Please join me to the panel. Have a seat. Next would be Mrs. Laura Lopez, Strategic Alliance Manager of Procomer. Her CEO has been excused to leave earlier. Manager of Costa Rica, the winner of the developing country category. Warm welcome, Laura. Big applaud. Last but not least, I wanted to call on our friend Fabrice Lelouvier, Deputy Head of International Cooperation, who represents Business France, winner of the developed countries category. Warm welcome, Fabrice. I would like, first of all, to congratulate you all three again on behalf of this great audience. You have worked very, very hard to make it happen, and you have been very creative, very innovative, and really buying into the process to really be here today with us this afternoon. Yes, Michaela, please join us. Sorry. So again, congratulations. As we all know, I think ITC, as I used to say, ITC itself is a global TPO, is a TPO also, with a global mandate. And to reach that global mandate, we need strong multipliers, strong and committed multipliers to really make it happen. So I am really very proud that we have worked together over the years to support you in your very successful efforts to boost export in this way, being creative and creating economic and social benefits for your countries. You are really shining examples, and we can see it around the audience. Everyone wants to hear about you. What are your secrets? What happened for you to be a winner? So we all know that these awards recognize trade and investment promotion organizations that drive sustainable, inclusive growth through trade, and at the same time, creating a very transformational impact on business. The development impact is very, very important. So by providing effective services to enterprises, as well as to trade and investment promotion organization, you are also helping your countries create jobs and export income for your countries. The other trade and investment promotion organization which have been also nominated in the short list, I do believe deserve also very, very big applause, and let me list them. Afghanistan, Australia, Austria, Bangladesh, Brazil, Chile, Ecuador, Jamaica, Republic of Korea, the Netherlands, and of course, Qatar. Big applause to them also. I would like, sans plus tarder, d'inviter Monsieur Rajao Narivelo, excusez-moi d'avoir torpillé ce beau prénom, pour partager avec nous véritablement l'expérience de ITBM qui s'est distinguée véritablement in export value, from export value to raw material by providing grants to 5 product clusters, but most importantly, assisting export-related intermediary organizations to implement export promotion projects. So over to you to tell us your secret. How did you do to be a winner? Thank you. You can do it from your seat or up there.
Thank you, Aisha. As we have faith, we don't expect to win. So why I have not to speak in English, I'll do that just for 1 hour to prepare. So, you know, right now in Madagascar, there is 2 big things. One is the Francophonie Summit. So I'm a French-speaking country. And second is His Majesty, the King Mohammed VI is in Madagascar for this summit. So I'm too proud to be there and to show the affection between Madagascar and Morocco, and with African countries and Francophone countries. So let me speak in French, please. Thank you very much. L'ITBM, en termes d'historique, a été créé pendant la crise de 2009. En 2009, donc, le secteur d'exportation avait eu beaucoup de problèmes à cause donc de la non-reconnaissance internationale de notre pays, ce qui a limité les exportations vers l'Union européenne et surtout aussi vers les États-Unis, qui nous avaient permis de bénéficier de l'AGOA. Donc il y avait à peu près 200 000 emplois perdus au niveau du secteur exportateur. Donc nous avons créé l'ITBM pour essayer de donner une réponse à ça. Et c'était une création en 2010 avec les principales organisations patronales et sectorielles malgaches. Il y a donc les 12 plus grandes et ils sont dans mon board. Et la réponse à une autre situation très délicate, c'était pour nous de transformer notre institution qui était le centre de ressources pour le commerce international, qui est du secteur privé et qui est totalement encore privé jusqu'à aujourd'hui, en ITBM, parce que nous souhaitons aller un peu plus loin pour s'occuper du commerce international de notre pays. Alors, ITBM est une petite structure, un budget limité, mais vous allez voir avec des impacts importants. The next slide. OK. Donc voilà, une équipe de 5 personnes à l'heure actuelle. Nous sommes en train de recruter 2 autres. Un conseil d'administration de 13 groupements professionnels et patronales, mais une équipe forte, avec une bonne expertise en commerce international, spécialiste en gestion de projets et surtout aux appuis aux PME. Et dans notre structure, nous faisons aussi de l'approche genre, parce qu'il y a plus de femmes que d'hommes.
Ça peut être le secret.
C'est le secret. Les principales missions de l'ITBM, c'est de fournir des services et des appuis adaptés aux besoins des PME exportatrices, en termes de formation, d'accompagnement dans les certifications, et puis de préparation et de formation pour la participation dans les foires internationales. Donc, je vous ai parlé tout à l'heure d'une mission d'appui des organisations intermédiaires. Par rapport à notre budget, nous avons pu financer des activités au niveau de 6 chambres de commerce régionales. Donc, nous avons un développement intégré et inclusif de tout Madagascar. Donc, c'est les 6 chambres de commerce sur les 24 qui existent. Et nous avons été à l'origine de la création de 5 clusters de PME que nous aidons à se structurer, à faire des renforcements de capacités, à aider à pénétrer les marchés dans lesquels Madagascar est, notamment les marchés régionaux comme la SADC, COMESA, et dans un très court moment, la zone de libre-échange tripartite. Voilà. Et nous faisons un point d'honneur aussi à appuyer les jeunes entrepreneurs et à appuyer les femmes entrepreneurs de Madagascar. Qu'est-ce que nous avons fait aussi? C'est que nous avons mis en œuvre, en faisant toute la stratégie de négociation des fonds et de recherche d'expertise internationale, la stratégie nationale des exportations pour le commerce et le service, qui relève normalement de missions de l'État, mais nous le faisons pour le bénéfice du pays. Et nous avons conçu et mis en place un one-stop shop pour les exportations et le guichet unique à l'exportation. Alors, quelle réalisation? Pendant ces 3 ans, c'est des visites sur terrain. Le secret, c'est aussi les visites sur terrain, d'aller voir les primo-exportateurs et les PME exportatrices ou à fort potentiel pour identifier leurs besoins d'assistance et leur proposer notre assistance technique. S'il s'agit d'appui des PME dans le processus d'accès au marché, notamment puisque nous travaillons beaucoup avec l'International Trade Center, nous utilisons beaucoup et vulgarisons les formations en Market Map, Trade Map, Invest Map. Dans tout Madagascar, Madagascar est très vaste, 600 000 km². Il y a des régions où il y a très peu de routes, mais croyez-moi, il y a des régions où on doit mettre un jour pour arriver en voiture, mais il y a des gens qui connaissent Trade Map, Invest Map et Market Access Map dans ces régions. Voilà. Donc l'appui pour la mise en place de One Stop Shop, je l'ai dit. 2 clusters parmi les 5, nous les avons accompagnés pour être certifiés bio et fair trade. Et donc, ils sont en train d'exporter vers les États-Unis et vers l'Union européenne. L'élaboration de la stratégie d'exportation, et nous avons aussi créé ce qu'on appelle donc des clubs export de Madagascar, qui sont dans toutes les régions des clubs d'exportateurs qui font des réunions mensuelles et qui font l'échange sur les meilleures pratiques, les best practices sur l'exportation. Ils échangent sur les procédures douanières, sur les barrières non tarifaires, sur la logistique, sur, par exemple, les spécificités d'exportation d'agroalimentaire vers les États-Unis. Vous connaissez tous les difficultés de Food and Drug Administration. Nous avons créé un label propre de formation qui s'appelle 3 jours pour exporter, dans lequel, bien évidemment, sur le volet études de marché, donc il y a les outils de l'ITC, nous organisons les journées pays pour promouvoir les échanges commerciaux bilatéraux. Nous sommes là au 7e journée pays que nous allons proposer au mois de février. Enfin, partout, dans toutes ces chambres de commerce, dans ces clusters et au niveau de notre office central, il y a la création d'une base de données pour les exportateurs de veille informationnelle et de veille stratégique qui permettent d'aider les gens à se faire, si vous voulez, des relations au niveau international. Enfin, et pas des moindres, même si l'ITBM est une initiative purement privée et où il n'y a que le secteur privé, nous participons activement dans les processus de dialogue public-privé pour discuter, entre autres, sur le commerce, l'intégration régionale et toutes les négociations APE, OMC, SADC, COMESA, Indian Ocean Dream. Voilà. Quels sont les 4 facteurs clés de succès de l'ITBM qui nous ont permis? Ben voilà, c'est d'abord la forte expertise en commerce international et en gestion de projet de tout le staff et des gens que nous renforçons dans les provinces et dans les régions de Madagascar. C'est une petite structure jusqu'à aujourd'hui, donc elle a une bonne flexibilité et une capacité d'adaptation aux besoins des clients. Enfin, on parle clients parce que je suis secteur privé aussi, mais disons des bénéficiaires. Nous sommes en écoute permanente des PME bénéficiaires, principalement les PME des jeunes et des femmes, et nous appliquons d'une manière permanente les principes de la gestion axée sur les résultats. Mesdames et messieurs, je crois que cette approche d'action, de gestion axée sur les résultats nous a permis d'avoir le grand résultat, d'avoir gagné ce trophée. Nous sommes fiers d'avoir été le seul pays africain nominé et d'avoir gagné ce trophée. Vive Madagascar, vive l'Afrique! Et vive
Vive l'Afrique en terre africaine. Bravo encore, well done. Et voilà son secret. Son secret, c'est effectivement une approche intégrée, une approche de proximité, une approche axée sur les résultats. Je pense qu'on a entendu tout cela pendant ces 2 jours. Encore une fois, bravo Madagascar et big applaud again. Thank you very much. I would like now to invite Mrs. Laura Lopez and Mrs. Michaela Mazei from Procomer, to share with us a successful associative model of export methodology. We all know today Costa Rica's percentage of Costa Rica's business park is occupied by SMEs for 94%, which face common challenges related to productivity, economy of scales, and access to knowledge. Our AME model addresses these issues through there also a great teamwork spirit. So please, ladies, share with us your secret. Over to you.
Good afternoon, thank you. Well, as you were saying, actually, yeah, we have a big challenge because almost all of our business park is composed by SMEs. 80% of our export companies are SMEs, and they all present challenges: low productivity, not enough volume to satisfy the world demand or the big markets demand, access to knowledge and financial resources is difficult, and also there's a poor understanding of international trends and of regulatory normative outside different markets. So we, in Procomer, elaborated this model or this methodology, which consists on grouping SMEs from the same sector by voluntary alliance. Through joint actions, they develop and promote their goods and services, they invest in IT, they innovate, they access new markets, and they negotiate as a group and not as different companies. That's the response that we encountered to the challenge of make our services more inclusive and to internationalize SMEs and integrate them in the global value chains. So the associative models for exports, or AMIs as we know them, have 3 main characteristics, and that's the more innovative part of the model. The first one is flexibility. We use a rigorous model, rigorous monitoring and structure, but it's very flexible because it also accounts for the specific characteristics of the companies and of the sectors. It takes into account geographic, cultural, socioeconomic, and environmental variables that make the products and the sectors different and allows us to work with different services that are best suited for this type of companies. It also has an important characteristic that is empowerment. We work close with them and we make sure they're involved in the decision making and in every action that takes place in the structure and in the implementing of the model that in that way we guarantee that it's sustainable in the long term and that is there is commitment of the SMEs to participate and commit to long-term goals. And the last one is the performance monitoring of the methodology. We have indicators for every one of the actions, and that allows us not just to measure the impact and to provide the adequate services, but it also allows us to be flexible in our own services as a TPO. We change and evolve as long as that group and the companies evolve. So those are the three main characteristics of our model. And those three characteristics are the ones that guarantee that we can work with every sector and every type of SME. Now we have three types of groups or three types of models and AMIS models. The first one is the horizontal networks that are alliances among companies that offer similar products and similar services. That way they invest together, they innovate together, and also they have more volume so they can access bigger markets. The next one is the promotion consortium. These are groups of SMEs that join to promote their services so that guarantees less risk, but overall less cost, because they can go, instead of going a delegation of 5 or 10 companies to a fair or to a mission, it goes one in representation of all the group, so the investment is less, and that allows a best resource allocation. But also, as a joint group, they have more bargain power when they negotiate. And the other one is the Origin Consortium. This is a new one, and we're working through products or services that are specifically for one region. For example, we have an Origin Consortium of cocoa in a region where cocoa is of high quality and organic, so we're trying to develop and make this under a brand to be known around the world from the origin of the cocoa in Costa Rica. So we have right now 14 AMIs from all types, from educational groups, from animation, food, biotech, all type of sectors and all type of companies that associate to work together for a long-term goal.
Okay. What we did here is to structure a process that has 4 stages. The first one is awareness and recruitment of companies. We recruit them, we apply them a diagnosis, and then we select the companies that have the capabilities to get together and work together. Then we start with training with them. The second stage is formalization and structure. We assign a sectorial promoter that is going to guide the group and is going to help them to develop a strategy and help them to decide what kind of governance they are going to have. And here is when operations start. Companies sign an agreement and then operation starts. The third one is planning and consolidation. Based on the diagnosis we made in the first stage, we define the productive capacity, target markets, business goals, and we we develop an internationalization plan. And the fourth one is internationalization. Here we implement that internationalization plan we developed in the third stage. Here we go with them to promotion activities, and we help them to get the international standards they need to access new markets. We help them to produce new, to innovate with new products, and they have the ability to access new markets. But first of all, what we do here is to develop business opportunities. As Laura said, one of the most important characteristics of this model is that we can measure it. And we do it through our CRM. We implemented it 5 years ago in Procomer, and each of these stages has an objective, and each objective has an indicator that allow us to adopt the methodology, our services, our activities to the needs the companies or the model have in certain moments. About the impact, well, we get diversification of experts, and we can reduce the risk of depending on certain markets, certain products, or certain customers. We get innovation improvement, not only in each company, but in Procomer, because we think this model is an innovation itself. We get lower cost because as they can share problems, they can share solutions. We get economy of scale, especially in horizontal networks, and we get differentiation because all the AMIs are under an umbrella that is our country brand, Essential Costa Rica, and all the companies that are part of this model share the values of the country brand that are origin, excellence, innovation, social progress, and sustainability. And the most important thing is that we achieve our main goal, that is inclusion of SMEs in internationalization processes.
And well, we've been working on this model for almost 2 years already. So we have a lot of lessons learned, good practices and bad practices that we've been adjusting on the way. The main ones is the companies have to be similar. We learned that on the way. You can have companies that are different in size or different in maturity. They have to be at least in the same stage to make sure that they all gain from working together. The other one is that it's definitely better to start with small committed groups. Instead of trying to build an AMI or a model of 20 companies, it's better to start with 5, 7 companies, because at the first stages it's really important to get a planning for the long term, the goals, the steps that they're going to take, and it's basic that they all agree on what they're going to do. So it's easier to get consensus on a small group than when you have 20 or 30 companies. The other really important part that we found on the way was the short and long-term goals. The AMI is structured to have changes, structural changes on the subsectors, on the sectors, and in the companies in the long term. But it's important for the companies to feel like they have fast and small success in the way that they don't lose commitment on that long term. And the most important one is this model is a dynamic model. It changes as the companies change, it changes as our services change, and it changes as the trends change. So it's important to Procomer and to the companies to understand that as they evolve, we evolve with them. And that's, for example, our biotech model first. It was an associative model, more of a promotion consortium, and it has evolved into almost a cluster. And now we even have other institutions, bio labs, entrepreneurs, working with them. So we evolve our services as they evolve. Thank you.
Thank you. You have had a clear vision, very clear, a sector development approach with a clear methodology, flexibility to adapt to client needs, and what I really like in that is the sustainability angle, bringing in innovation to really show concrete results. Value for money matters within your strategy, and the country bond, which then become the end result of this. But what I've seen also that you have enough humility to learn lesson. And I see that, and that should apply to all of us. I do believe as a TPO, our roads never end. We have to move through a continuous improvement plan. And that's learning lesson, adjusting, adapting, and making it happen. Encore une fois, bravo, Procomer. Well done. Now, last but not least, I would like now to invite Fabrice Lelouvier from Business France, customizing a long-term assistance to support SMEs in their effort to internationalize. Another great example of success to share. 4 years ago, the French government called upon Business France, the investment bank, BPI France, and COFAS, a leader in the insurance credit. 3 institutions joining hands to jointly deliver a very interesting customized support to internationalize 1,000 mid-sized companies with very high and untapped potential for growth. Le résultat va nous être compté par mon ami Fabrice. Over to you.
Thank you, Aisha. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to say that you should not worry. This time I'm not going to sing a tune in a microphone. I want to say thank you first, very briefly, to Maroc Export for a tremendous and very inspiring organization of this event, first of all. I want to thank the award committee for choosing our initiative. This is very important for us. And I want to say thank you to the whole team in France, back in France, who designed and runs every day the program I'm going to present to you. Customized Export Boost Initiative, CEBI. It is aimed for mid-sized companies with high international growth potential, as Aisha mentioned. And more important, it is a joint initiative of Business France with BPI France and COFAS. Business France would have never been in a position to set up this initiative alone, and especially to reduce targets. The origin of the initiative is very easy. From its very creation, Business France has set up focus groups of SMEs, so already in 2008. And from those groups, the most critical need that was identified was to offer more customized and long-term assistance to SMEs and mid-sized companies. So in 2012, a report on competitiveness of the French industry already mentioned this need we identified, and lately in the this initiative was included in the National Pact for Growth and Competitiveness. So a small idea that came from the ground went all the way up to the national level to be included in this Pact for Growth and Competitiveness. The alignment of this initiative with the strategy of our agency is very high. This initiative combined the assets of 3 partners, BPI France, COFAS, and Business France, as I mentioned before. Everyone brings his own assets and his own expertise. And the initiative is based on long-term companionship and a comprehensive approach targeting on high-end SMEs. This initiative is included as a feature program in Business France contract of objectives and performance for a triennial contract. And this is very important. It is really in the heart of our strategy. For this initiative, we have set up a dedicated team of 45 full-time staff to run the program. This is the team I mentioned before. And to give you a more precise idea about the definition of the target group and the objectives, the target group is SMEs that are have more than 50 employees, are independent from a larger group, this is important, and should have over 1,100 euros of annual export already, and a capacity to significantly increase the annual exports if properly assisted. And the objectives set were: enroll in the initiative 1,000 SME in mid-size and mid-sized companies from 2014 to 2017. Overall, significantly increase the annual export flow in euros of the companies enrolled over the next 4 years. And we'll show you now how we performance and the monitoring of the CB, of this initiative. First of all, the effectiveness should be measured in terms of results actually achieved by each company, and not only on a statistic level. It was very important. The rest of our activity, we measure it on a statistic level, but for this initiative, it was important to go to each company individually. We wanted to achieve qualitative leap in the services we provided to those companies, and we had also a financial target in terms of financial viability of the program, and we wanted to reach 50% of cost cover that Business France had to set with this initiative. The effectiveness. Well, today the results are on target after 3 years of running the program. We have enrolled 1,100 companies. To this very day, I changed the figures from the files because in June we had other figures, but I actualized actually the figures. We have a customer satisfaction of 98%, and you can compare it with the standard services who are of 85%. We have export contracts signed or negotiated after our services with a rate of 56% compared to 46% with standard services. So we have achieved the qualitative leap I mentioned before. And the program costs are covered at 35% in November 2016, and we have another 2 more years to go to achieve the 50% covering cost I mentioned before. That's it for the initiative for Business France. Thank you.
Bravo, bravo encore à tous les trois, vraiment un excellent travail. Je voudrais, I'm looking at the timekeepers to make sure that we have 2-3 minutes for the floor to react. I have some questions. I want to really they share with us what would be next for them. But before that, maybe some des questions brûlantes aux panélistes. Please. If no question from the panel, I think you all endorse what has been shared with you as a crazy and good example to follow. And I'm sure that you will inspire many of your other fellows. So, having been recognized by your peers as a winner, that is a very important distinction. Can you tell us, each one of you, what's next for you? Comment vous allez, how would you leverage this recognition moving forward? If you have any plan already or not yet, too early. Peut-être que vous voulez d'abord savourer la victoire, mais en tout cas, encore une fois, bravo. Si le timekeeper nous permet, oui, je voudrais vous donner la parole. I want to give you the floor, each 1 minute to conclude on what is next for you. Procomer.
Well, what we are going to do next is just continuing applying this model to other groups and other sectors, because as we saw in this presentation, it has an impact, and we have some successful cases that we can share, and we can continue in applying this model to other sectors, maybe.
For me, next is to do more than we can afford now. So it means what? It means to have a biggest target in inclusivity, in regional approach, Madagascar regional approach, and to make Madagascar the champion of, and to improve all of activities we've done yet for youth and for women. And the next is, why not? We can dream. For the next TPO summit, maybe we have to compete in developing country, no?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, le rêve est permis, chers frères, chers amis. Le rêve est permis, d'autant plus que toute cette initiative, vous l'avez pratiquement menée presque tout seul. Vous l'avez dit, c'est le secteur privé qui s'est approprié son destin. Il est grand temps, je pense qu'avec ce award, de faire un clin d'œil à vos politiques pour qu'ils vous apportent le soutien nécessaire afin que réellement ce rêve soit une réalité. Bravo encore. Fabrice, what's next for you?
Well, to be frank, I think that the first thing we might do on Monday arriving in Paris might be to open a bottle of champagne. Yes, this is Paris. But what I want to say, which is most important, is that UBI France is a major, Business France is a major agency, and we have a huge network, we have a lot of staff, of course, if you compare with other agencies. But I think that our initiative is in a way a lesson of humility, because there are things you won't be able to do well alone, so the best thing is to look for partners.
That deserves a big applause. What ITC calls a one-to-one-to-many approach. Together, we can do much more. And that's the concept of teamwork. Big applause to my three panelists, and again, all the best. Needless to say that ITC will be again with you to accompany you in that continuous improvement road, and looking forward for that to happen. Merci beaucoup. Bravo.